Beginning temperature -7.6, -7.6 on both of them. Alright, girl, let's see if you'll start. Beginning mileage 11619, 11619. Tough. Barbie's riding like a fucking wooden bench. Alright, my first SubZero. For 2015. Well, I watched Dr. Dual Sport early this morning. He went through an earthquake. Funny story. The only earthquake I've ever been through was when I was in boot camp in the Navy out in San Diego. As if boot camp wasn't enough trauma. And nobody told us what to do. And I can't remember how many we had in the company, but everybody's up jumping around. What do we do? What do we do? And some guys are yelling, get under your racks. You know, like under the bed, a cot. Get underneath that. Some of the guys were saying, get up against the wall. And then somebody else would say, no, there's glass there. If it breaks, it'll cut everybody. Just major friggin' panic. And by the time the company commander came out, the earthquake, of course, was over. Yeah, that was my first and only experience. They had more earthquakes because I was stationed out in San Diego too. But when I was shipboard, you sleep on the ship, they have an earthquake, you don't feel it. Water doesn't vibrate. Or rumble, or whatever you want to call it. And then another response video to Dr. Dual Sport. I meant to do this last night and I forgot about it. You know, Dr. Dual Sport's a cowboy, rancher, farmer. And he took his little Honda CRF 230 and two of the kids on 4x. They went out and what I call herded the cattle into another field, which I understand all that. That's pretty normal. I've just never been part of it or seen it up close like he was doing in the video. Well, I tell you, Omaha used to have the world's largest stockyards where they'd ship all these cattle in, and we had a bunch of meat packing plants here in Omaha, and they'd butcher them and slaughter them, and you know, so you got hamburgers to eat and steak, and they did cattle and pigs. Well, our dad, after church on Sundays, used to take us down to the stockyards and let us go walk around. Well, you just don't go walking around in the stockyards. Now, this is the 60s. Heaven forbid you couldn't do that today. But stockyards are all gone here now. But I'm going to put some pictures up. You see these fences in between the pens or racks, whatever you want to call them. That's where you walked on. And none of us kids ever fell in. But it's quite an experience when you're a young kid. I think I was probably 4 or 5 years old, so that'd make it 65, 66. But I guess it was just Dad's way of showing us other sides of life. And truthfully, I think he enjoyed it too. And some of the other things he'd do is take us out to the airport, and you'd actually climb up on top of the control tower. They had a fenced-in like patio up on top of it, and you could sit up there and watch the airplanes land and take off. Well, as you all suspect, I guarantee you, you're not getting near a control tower. I think I made a mistake. This might be a real bad idea here. I'm going to have to go down one of these snow-packed, hard-packed roads. This one looks pretty good. You see, it 8 below zero. It's like instant freeze. So even the moisture coming out of vehicles freezes as soon as it hits the ground. So that's about it. I just wanted to talk about those two topics. All my batteries are dead. Tank mileage 11642. 11642. Killing cameras today.